Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 brush in the air and the beat on time. Oh, 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 color jumps in and the world feels right. Oh, 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 step into the frame, yeah, we're moving again. Oh, 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 sparking up the magic we forgot within. Every moment's a brand new start, a little rhythm and a little art. Shake off the doubt, no looking back. We're rising up, we're on the right track. We're getting back on track with Betty Mac, where the canvas glows and the music snaps. Turn it up, let the good vibes stack. Yeah, we're back on track with Betty Mac. Oh, 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 Betty Mac. Oh, 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 Betty Mac. Oh, 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 Betty Mac. Yeah, we're back on track.
Hi, and welcome to Back on Track with Betty Mac. Yes, I'm back. It's been 5 years. The first time I was on, I did it for 20 years. Right here. Well, I didn't start here. They didn't have the studio here. I started with Bill Winder and Scott Davis. We were at the J. Babe Stern Center. And I think I might have been one of their first people on the show. And we were over there until they opened up the space here at Canton City Schools. And then I was here. After that, I started over there maybe for 2 years. And then altogether, though, 20 years. 20 years I was on track with Betty Mac. And it was such a wonderful experience. Met so many wonderful people, great guests, so much going on here, in Canton. But this Back on Track with Betty Mac is arts exclusive. I will only be talking about the arts, and there's so many things involving the arts, It's dance, it's music, it's choirs, it's orchestras. Of course, it's museums. It's cooking is an art. Gardening is an art. There's a lot of things, right?
Absolutely.
In the arts world. So, and this is going to be for Stark County, so you can imagine how busy I'm going to be on this show. For those of you who are this is the first one. It's kind of our dry run that we're doing. We kind of officially open in January, but I'm so blessed to have you, Lisa.
Thank you very much.
Painter, and Antoine Duncan with me on the show today. I'm just giving people a kind of an overview of what used to be, those that didn't see me, with On Track with Betty Mac. And it's so wonderful because I bump into people that I've had on my show before, or they say, I know you, or some of the kids that were actually from Canton City Schools, like Miracle Walker, like Serene Parks, and it's just so many kids that said, oh, Amanda Dukes, Jean Dukes, I think it's her, yeah. It all came out of Canton City Schools, broadcast media. They've done some wonderful things here and training more students, right? So this is a wonderful opportunity. And of course, Lisa, I met you. You worked after school, with me. You were just wonderful.
Thank
and you worked so hard and getting kids to us for the after school program. And that's how we met. And this is my first time really meeting this young man. But I knew him. We've conversed, I think maybe over phone or texting or something, because he has wonderful people in his program that are dear and dear to me.
Yeah.
And I think in fact, now you have a play coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are working on choreographer's workshop. So.
Yeah, and two of my young ladies, I believe Joselle Isles and Micaiah Smith.
Micaiah Smith, yeah.
Right, and of course Dejan Dickerson has been in a lot of them, right? Those are my enrichment kids.
Yeah.
So we have so many connections here that it's wonderful. But we're here today to talk about the 7th annual Fine Arts and Community Arts Gala that is sponsored by Enrichment. And you two are two of the recipients of awards. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, I first want to talk about, we've been doing this 7 years and we've honored a lot of wonderful people. And I just want, Trent's going to put some pictures on the screen from last year's gala. In fact, last year, Trent received the Media Award for last
Well
year.
deserved.
Yeah. Well deserved. I
Absolutely.
just love that young man. He's just so talented and everything. But there's Trent. See, getting his award for last year. And we had so much fun.
Yeah.
And he had friends and family there. And it was just, it's a great affair. It just brings people together. And we have the red carpet. You walk the red carpet. And I have my drum line there to greet you, make you feel welcome.
Yeah.
We have hors d'oeuvres. We're at the DoubleTree downtown.
Beautiful space.
Yeah, and we have fun from the time you hit that door. These young people will be greeting you. You come and walk in that red carpet, and there's hors d'oeuvres. And then we go in and we talk about community awards. And you're in the community awards group, Lisa.
Yes.
Special recognition, so well deserved. Lisa, you have helped so many people, and more than I know, but in Stark County, and I know you probably help people everywhere. But you're so generous, you and your husband, Chip. I've been in your wonderful home. You're just so welcome. You welcome people into your home. And I said, these are the kind of people that need to be recognized. I believe in giving people flowers while they can smell them. And so I said, Lisa, Chip and Lisa Painter, they're so good to enrichment. I mean, Lisa, you're always there. Betty, what do you need? Betty, how can I help? What can I do? You always do that.
Thank you.
You sponsor kids on the trip going to Chicago. Oh, don't worry, I've got this. I'm going to sponsor these kids. She always says, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And she makes it happen. She makes it happen. And so I'm just so excited to give you an award, Lisa, you and your husband. You work together so well. And then I went to the, Wine, Women, and Shoes?
Yes, that was so much fun
Wasn't
with
that
you.
fun?
We had a blast.
Yes, yeah. Tell people what that Wine, Women, and Shoes is all about.
So, Wine, Women, and Shoes is a local organization. Well, it's a local event. It's a local fundraiser sponsored by Mercy Service League. They do it every year, and there are influential men in our community who serve as soul men.
Yeah.
And they raise money. And last year, the soul men raised over $113,000 for local women. 100% of the donations help local women with cancer. So many times, if you know the statistics, many times women who are going through treatment often end up losing their homes because of the medical bills.
Right.
And it's heartbreaking, but these women can get support to help with car payments, to help with child care.
Awesome.
There was a woman who needed a water heater, grocery bills.
Right.
So I love seeing local men come together, serving a good cause, helping the women, and you might want to be one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really good.
It was so wonderful having you
and
at
so
that
she
event.
invited me to be her guest at that, and I just had a wonderful time. Great group of, it was a lot of people there too, wasn't it?
A lot. There were 350.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Yeah, 300. That's a nice.
And the models are.
Oh, the men.
The men are the soul men. They bring the women in, but the models are local women who are going through cancer treatment.
Oh, wow.
And so they're doing the modeling. Their friends and family are there cheering them on, and it's beautiful. It's heartwarming.
It was just wonderful, and it was wonderful. And I thank you again for inviting me to be your guest at that. I had never been to there. I'd heard about it, but it was just. Everybody had fun.
Yeah.
We're raising a lot of money and having fun, and people were donating. They were actually giving, weren't they?
Yeah.
But Lisa does things like that. She's just all over the community, doing great things for people like people with breast cancer, enrichment kids. I mean, for so many other things that she does, and that's really wonderful. But you dance, you teach dance, wonderful choreographer, and so. This is the first time I've met him. Like I said, we talked on the phone and everything. We know a lot of the same young people. But talk about your career here and how long you've been here and what you've been doing.
Sure. This is year 8 for me here at Canton City Schools. I am fortunate enough to work alongside of Christy Daney, who runs the theater program. And together we get to, I would like to think, shape the lives of students in its totality, right?
Most definitely.
Make great artists in and outside of the studio, on and off the stage. And so our main goal is to provide students with the resources that we didn't have when we were getting our arts education. Some of the ins and outs, the nuances of making it in the business, right? How you harness that right? How you find an agent, how you, craft your resume in a way that is going to get certain concert dance company versus a musical theater, all of those things, right? Because sort of the ins and outs that a lot of high school students don't get, right? So I think that's the bread and butter, if you will, of like the career tech education that we're offering here at Kansas City.
So it's not just teaching them to dance, but all of the things that goes along with the life skills, like you said, which is so important.
Very much.
That we do that to the young people, because everybody's not going to make it in that world, right? It's tough.
Certainly not.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But it's an alternative, and it's something they can do on the side and still make some money.
Yeah.
Doing it and dancing and singing. So it's with the dance, but you have. You work with the theater component also,
Sure.
right? So they sing, they dance, right?
So our season typically, dance and theater work separate, but they also work together, right? So on the dance itinerary, we're going to kick off the year with Choreographers Workshop, which is actually this weekend, where our senior level students, they learn how to create a work from conception, right? So how does a phrase become longer? How do you manipulate it? How do you develop a work of choreography? How do you select and edit your music?
That's wonderful.
How do you audition younger dancers? So they hold the auditions. They audition the junior level students. And then,
they do?
Yeah.
The seniors audition the
senior
junior?
audition the junior level students.
That's pretty good.
The students are out of classes all day, and they're here in the studio. And so they learn all the dances. And then we go into casting. And so they sit at the round table. Juniors get to have their lunch at that time, and seniors then select their juniors.
That's awesome.
Impressive.
Yeah, and then from there they go back in and they have conversation. They post their cast list and they start their rehearsal process, and they learn sort of the bumps and bruises that occur
but that's good.
when you're creating, right?
That's right.
And it's a good opportunity for them because up until this point, many of them have only ever been the dancer, right? So it's the first time that they've created choreography, that they've edited music, and so they're learning a lot of skills that I think were very valuable for me that I was learning very late, right? Like I'd already danced professionally, and I felt like everyone around me, teaching-wise, knew all of these very valuable things that I had no idea. So it's a way to get them those skills sooner, so that they hopefully don't feel lost like I did.
See, that's good. See, that's what you missed out on when you were in school. So you're bringing it so that
Real life.
real life things. So I think that's wonderful that they do this. One of the young ladies that is in your program, Micaiah Smith, I didn't know she could sing.
Yeah.
Micaiah is a color guard flagger for EN-RICH-MENT in the drumline, encore group. And when I went to one of the plays you had in the Black Box,
Working, the musical.
yes, and it was great.
Thank you.
And she was singing. I'm like, I didn't know she could sing. I know Ayada, Muhammad. She's from the EN-RICH-MENT and Deja, and I knew they could sing. But when Kai, I'm like, wow, girl, you didn't tell me you could sing. Surprise. But you brought it out of her. So.
And that's one of the joys I think about the program is, so the students get to choose their concentration, whether they are going to be in dance or whether they're going to be in theater. But because we, Christy, Danny, and I, believe it's so important that artists learn how to create and do art in all mediums, right? Not only for the reciprocity and appreciation of other artists that you inevitably collaborate with, but so that students cannot be the I can't to themselves before they experience something. So many dancers are not used to using their voice in any capacity, speaking or otherwise, and so they don't even realize that they can sing, right? But with training and coaching and developing that, all of a sudden they're like, oh,
I can do that, right?
I can do that, right? I don't want a whole solo number, but I can do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome that the students have that opportunity. And right here at Kansas City Schools, you do that with the students. And like you say, you work with theater as well.
Yeah. So that mid-year performance, that musical is sort of around just February, March is when we end up putting on the musical. Sometimes it pushes into April, depending on the calendar year.
Okay.
And then we go into spring dance concerts, where the students have this year, for the first time, I've been pushing for a few years, where they get to work with guest choreographers from the industry, very professional choreographers. They come and set works at the beginning of the year, and we clean them throughout the course of the year, so that then they get to perform it in a larger concert at the end. So
that's incredible.
It is. It really is. The children were really blessed to have that opportunity to do that. And they have they speak very highly of you, the students that I've talked to. They said they speak very highly of you, and that's wonderful. What you do, you know, for the students in the school. So, you know, so that's why I like to honor people like you and like Lisa, and let everybody know who you are. Because a lot of people don't know who you are. They don't know that you do what you do, Lisa.
Thank you.
And they need to know how wonderful you are. And if you don't go to Canton City Schools, they might not even know who you are, what you do, right?
Sure, definitely.
So I'm glad this show is, a lot of different people can see it all over, and we'll have it, you know, on our website and everywhere. So, so we can let everybody know what's happening here, right here in Canton. You know, good people doing great things right here in Canton. So it's the Special Recognition Award. Now, your award, we just renamed the award. I call it the Stacey Morgan Outstanding Dance Award. Stacey Morgan has been with EN-RICH-MENT for, I think, 9 years. She came to me, actually, I had her two of her children, Malcolm and MJ. With me, and she said, I'm trying to figure out how my kids got to you. And the reason I got her, this is a funny story. I started the little drum line, right? And so then I got MJ and Malcolm and a few kids. They said, well, we want to dance with the drum line, right? Well, I didn't have anyone that could teach. I said, well, I don't even have a teacher. And I said, well, I used to teach exercise classes. I'll just give you some aerobic moves. So that's what I did. And as Malcolm went home and said, Mom, Miss Betty needs you. Because I had him doing all those little extra, and I've got it. I wish I had a video of that. I might give it to Trent to show. And it was so cute. And they was doing what they did, whatever I gave them, right?
It's so cute.
So then, right after that, Stacey came and she says, well, they said, do you need me to help you? You know, I'm like, yeah, I really do. You know, so she's been with me. And I think at that time, I think her baby was maybe just born. She had a newborn, I think. And then it was like 3 years later, his name is Silas, then he joined our drum line. Little Silas, you know, 3 years old, joined the drum line. And at 4, he marched in the community parade with the drum line, 2.2 miles. Wow. 2.2 miles, this little bitty thing. And I said to him, Silas, your dad's gonna pull the wagon if you get tired. And he looked at me and was like, Miss Betty, I got this. I'm like, so after 2.2 miles, I didn't want him to find me, you know, but he did. He said, I told you I could do it. But anyway, Silas is now 12. And he teaches the little kids to drum. So one of my shows, I'll have to have him on and show pictures of him. And, you know, he's a big, tall kid now. And it's just wonderful. So I remember when Miss Stacey's father passed away, she had said to me, you know, my dad was looking for a building for me to have my own studio when he died, and you know, and so she got really emotional. And I remember saying to her, it's just like it was put in my spirit, if I ever get a building, I'm going to name my dance studio after you. And so when God blessed us with our facility at 9th and Market, it's like that came back to me. I told you I was going to do that. And so I named the studio after her, the Stacey Morgan Dance Studio. And I said, well, I have a gala and I have a dance award. It'll be called the Stacey Morgan Outstanding Dance Award. So that's how the name got attached to this award. You know, and we have a lot of other awards too. We have the Macy Gray Rising Star Award.
Of course.
And so Macy was here. She did a show at the Palace not too long ago. And I talked, and she had a reception at EN-RICH-MENT.
Nice.
I said, Macy, we have this award name. You need to come. She said, let me check my schedule. Maybe I'll make a surprise visit. So she might be there. She might be there.
I love it.
But the person getting the award this year, his name is Azariah, I call him Azzy Belts. He is at the Arts Academy Summit.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, very talented. Very talented young man. So he's getting the Macy Gray Rising Star Award. And then we have another award. I don't know if you all knew or remember Cindy Laser. She worked with the Start Community Foundation, and she passed away. But she always made sure that small agencies like mine, I had a social service agency at the time, she always took care of the small kids, the small groups. You know, so Bev Jordan was, she had the Stark Social Workers Network at that time. It's changed names and everything. Bev's retired. But I named a award after Cindy, called the Cindy Laser Community Advocate Award. Cindy was in the community. She loved the community. She loved the people. So I wanted to keep her legacy alive and doing things. So I named that award. So this year, Beverly Jordan. I'm giving it to Bev. And she was just so moved because she's retired. But when she had her organization, she did so many wonderful things in the community. So I'm having that award. And then we've got the Performing Arts Award for theater, and that's Edie Bowman. I don't know if you all know Edie, but she directs a lot of plays and does a lot of things. And then there was a young lady that did strings with me. She was teaching our young people how to play strings. She was young, I think she was 19.
Oh, wow.
She was very good, and she was working with our young people. And she was on her way to college, and she had a car accident, and she passed away. And my strings players played at the service. It was very, very difficult, very heartwarming. So I named an award after her. I call it the Ayani Joy Buckman Education Award. And so this year I'm giving it to Michael Costco, who is with the Canton Symphony Orchestra, who's been with them for years. He just retired. I think he's probably with them 30 years, maybe longer. So he's getting that Educators Award this year. And then, of course, everybody knows the OJs, Love Train, right? So we have the OJs Award. And this year it's going to Rob Johnson and Company. I don't know if you know Rob. He can play keyboard. I mean, he's so good. And he plays all over the place, all over the country, really. And he's right here in Canton, right? So again, you honor the people, that are here. So Rob's getting that award. And then everybody knows Alex Simon, percussion, right? I remember when Alex started, I had Canton Idol then. I started Canton Idol, and he used to come and say, nobody gives me a chance to play. I want to play, Miss Betty. I said, well, come to Canton Idol. And he's a tap dancer, too. I don't know if you all knew that.
Alec and I went to college together, actually.
Oh, did you? But he can tap dance, right?
What's so funny is that, so he when he was taking tap it was the first time he had ever done it, and he was drumming. But he had a clear vision that he wanted to be as proficient with his feet as he was with his hands, and he already understood the musicality. He had to learn the steps, right? But the musicality was there, and so when I met him, it was at the very beginning of his tap career, and he literally said, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna be on Broadway. I'm gonna tap.
See, he put it out there.
He put it out there, and he made it happen.
And see, that's what you have to do. You have to tell the young people that, dream big.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he did. And look what he's doing now. He's everywhere. And he started with me at Canton Idol, tapping and clapping his hands and getting the audience involved and everything, And I told him, your day's coming, Alec. Now he's just traveling. So I named the Alec Simon Percussion Award. And this year it's going to a young man named Kyrie. And Kyrie is special needs. And he has just his grandfather came to me one day, and he said, Miss Betty, he said we couldn't even get him to come out of his room. He didn't want to really do anything. And he said until we found out about enrichment, and he started drumming. And he said it's just like he's transformed into a different person. Interesting. And so we had a showcase last year, and he plays with what we call our modern band. It's keyboard, it's drums, it's guitar, and he plays the drums. And his grandfather videotaped him. He said, I sent it to all the family members that don't live here, and they couldn't believe it was the same young man. Wow. So, the arts change lives.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The music, the dance, every aspect of it changes lives. And so this young man is getting that award, and he's so excited. I don't even think he realizes the magnitude of what he's going to be at this gala, right?
Sure.
And his name's going to be called, and he's going to come down and get this award, and it's just exciting.
Definitely.
It's just exciting, And then we have the Outstanding Visual Artist Award, and was talking before we came on camera about Jonathan Becker.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, he does First Friday. He organizes First Friday downtown, but he makes masks. And he does a one-man show. I don't know if he still does it, but I remember about 3 years ago, or maybe it was 4 years ago, that I saw the video, and I asked him would he come and do it for the youth at EN-RICH-MENT. A one-man show, and he was awesome. He was just awesome. Then the next thing I know, he's running First Friday and doing a great job. He's doing a great job with First Friday. So, and he does so many other things, but I'll have him on the show later, and he'll talk about that. And then I have what I call the Gala a Spotlight Award, and that's for someone who's been involved with the arts 10 years or more and is just an advocate for the arts, love the arts, always trying to push the arts and be involved with the arts. And that is going to Tom Picari. You probably remember Tom.
Perfect.
Tom,
I
he sits
do
on our
know
board.
Tom.
Yeah.
That's,
He's on our board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
He just loves
Nice.
people, loves the arts. And of course, he was at Summit.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was at Summit
Yeah.
School, the principal. I think that's when I first met him,
was.
Yeah.
when he was the principal there. And he's doing some great things. So see, that's another person that just needs to be honored.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Another person who's also really made it his goal to unify arts and bring people together to honor them and to provide opportunities for them to collaborate like
Yes.
you. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he's great.
So so he deserved that Spotlight Award. So those are the awards. We have a lot of other awards, the community awards and things that we're going to give. We always honor outstanding young people in enrichment that have done really well in color guard and drumline and dance. We always, they're young and they've made improvement in what they're doing, so they're going to be honored. They'll walk that red carpet.
Yeah.
They'll have a song played for them, and so we do that. And then I always have a funder of the year, someone that has given a lot of money to enrichment in one lump sum. And this year it's a Louis Yoder from the Christ Foundation. I'd never heard about the Christ Foundation, and someone said, you need to send them a letter because I believe they'll like what you're doing
Yes.
about the children. So he came out and took the tour of the building, and you have to do that. You haven't toured our building yet.
Yeah, I have not.
Oh,
Yes.
you'll love it.
He has
Yeah.
to tour our building.
Yeah.
State of the art.
It really is. And so they gave us $50,000.
Wow.
And it was just wonderful.
Yeah.
He said, I love what you're doing, the children. Because enrichment, it's more than music. It's more than the arts. We work with the whole family.
Yeah.
We do wraparound services. We have behavior specialists. We're one big family. It's
Yeah.
very diverse. And we love one another in enrichment. And it's a safe haven for the kids.
Yeah.
It's really a safe haven. Our co-chairs this year is Ted and Linda Swaldo.
Perfect.
Wonderful. I call him my angel, and I'll
He
have to do a whole
is.
show on him
Yes.
to show you how I met him, how God put him in my
And
life.
share your book that you wrote about
Yeah,
him.
I did. My story. And it'll take a whole show to do that, but he's just wonderful. In case people don't know who Mr. Ted Swaldo is, his picture's up there now, and his wife, he created Gervasi Vineyard. So they have all the restaurants and all that, and so he's just wonderful. And they're getting ready to open another restaurant.
Olinda.
Olinda's
By
named after
yours.
his wife.
Yes.
And he's just so down to earth and and he's also with Blue Coats.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You'll go see.
Yeah.
So it's just a natural.
Definitely, yeah.
Arts.
For sure.
Natural fit.
Right. So we're an affiliate of the Blue Coats down
Yeah.
in Richmond is.
Yeah.
So it's just a natural fit.
Yeah.
So when I asked him and his wife to be, he said, of course. It's like, what else? What do you need? He's like, cute, Lisa. Just, what do you need? How can I help?
Yeah.
Just wonderful people out here. So they're doing that. And then Dr. Don Bartlett, he's my ambassador. He's just, when he's had a few challenges with his health, but when he's healthy, he's out there. Enrichment. I'm the ambassador for enrichment. And, for 30 years he was volunteered with Chick-fil-A, and he was just bringing Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Miss Betty, what do the kids need? How many do you need? So every summer we usually get like 125 Chick-fil-A dinners or sandwiches or something. He's out there, so he's he won't be at the gala this year. He's being asked. He's a well-known speaker.
Yes.
Native American, and he speaks all over the country.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be in North Dakota. I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Speaking, so he won't be able to be with us this year, but he's sending a lot of people in his place. He said Judge Matt Kreitzer will take my place and he'll give the invocation. I said, oh okay. So when Dr. Don speaks, you jump. So he's still sending people. But I love what I do. I love this. I love these awards. I love giving, like I said, giving people flowers while they can smell them, and just making a difference. And you all are making a difference in the lives of many, many people, the lives of the kids. They say that. I say the arts do change lives, save lives, and the children come into enrichment through the arts, but we know there's other things that go along with it,
Certainly.
So we do that. So I want you to continue doing what you're doing and pouring into those children and bringing things out of them that they don't even know they have, like Micaiah, she can sing, you know. And Lisa, I know you continue to doing what you're doing, you and your husband, meeting the needs of the community, meeting the needs of the family.
Thank you.
It's just wonderful, and I feel very honored and very blessed to have you accept these awards from Enrichment. So I thank you too for bringing me back after 5 years, back on track with Betty Mack, you know. So this is wonderful. I want to shout out to Robin Matulik and to Trent Comer for, you know, really, they didn't have to twist my arm. They just said, why don't you come back? You know, like, wow. You know, and it just felt right to do it, especially when we're talking about the arts, and that's what Enrichment is all about. So I'm excited. And so some of you who are watching, for you arts advocates, and if you have a museum, if you have a dance show, anything that's in the arts, you can give me a call at 330-546-7724, or you can email me, Betty Smith at enrichment.org. You have to put those dashes in enrichment. EN-RICH dash, but Trent will have it on the screen. .org, and I want to highlight whatever people are doing and see, like, we won't be able to do your show this year, but the next year when you have a show, then we talk about the show that you're doing. So anything in the arts, that's what Back on Track on Betty Mack is doing. It's arts exclusive. And guess what? I'll see you next time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh. In the air and the beat on time. Oh, 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 oh. Color jumps in and the world feels right. Oh, 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 oh. Step into the frame, yeah, we're moving again. Oh, 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 oh. Sparking up the magic we forgot within. Oh, oh, oh. Every moment's a brand new start. A little rhythm and a little art. Shake off the doubt, no looking back. We're rising up, we're on the right track. We're getting back on track with Betty Mack, where the canvas glows and the music snaps. Turn it up, let the good vibes stack. Yeah, we're back on track with Betty Mack.